Always, always, always stop for the photo. Fall is arguably my favorite time to take photos. Every year I try and do a little bit of an adventure in the fall, whether that's going on a hiking trip or a weekend trip. This last year with my mom and my sisters, we booked an Airbnb up north, a little bit south of Algonquin Park. We chose an Airbnb that was right next to this lake. It had a little bit of an island out front and this waterway with not much boat traffic, which was really nice and quiet. Now, conveniently, the weekend that we had booked was absolutely peak for fall colors. The Ontario Parks has a fall color guide where every year they come out and weekly and sometimes even daily, they'll update the leaf fall and color information for each of the provincial parks. While we were at the cottage, the colors were just amazing. There were evergreens and deciduous trees, and a lot of them had started to turn yellow and red, and the views that I was getting just outside the cottage with my drone and my camera were absolutely incredible. Now, of course, we enjoyed our time at the cottage, but because we were so close to Algonquin Park, we figured we had to take advantage of the opportunity and get north to really see what the fall colors were looking like. When we looked at the fall parks color guide, it was reporting something like 90%, which is absolutely unheard of. Usually you have one of two things. Either you have all the leaves changing, but a lot of the leaves have fallen because of things like frost, or you have a lot of the leaves and they haven't quite all changed color yet. So we left the cottage and we're driving along the road, and as we're heading north, the leaves start to look more yellow, and you're going down this highway corridor, and on either side of you, it's just turning more and more vibrant, and we're looking around. I'm in the car, my mom is driving, and if you know me, as I sit in the car, I always have my camera in hand. What I'll do is I'll throw it into like shutter priority mode, crank the shutter to like 1/500 or 1/1000, and start just taking photos while we're driving, out the window, out the sunroof. But we have this agreement between myself and my family that I'm allowed to ask to stop only so many times. So if I see something that I really want to see, like, we'll be driving and there'll be a side road and I'll go, oh my gosh, like we really need to check that out. So as we're driving, I've done that a few times. I've stopped, take a few pictures of the road, of cars, of other things driving. And so at this point, we're right outside Algonquin Park, and I've used all of my freebies, essentially. And I'm thinking, I brought my drone. I haven't really taken any drone shots. I took a few, but it would be really nice to get a drone shot because as you enter Algonquin Park, you're not allowed to fly drones there. All of the provincial parks, you're not supposed to fly drones just so you don't disturb people hiking and camping and whatnot. So I'm thinking, we're right outside Algonquin Park. It would be really nice if we found a spot to stop. And of course we're driving and we're seeing like lakes go by and these trees that are yellow, and I'm getting more and more nervous. I'm like, I don't have any more free stops to use. I don't have any more asks. And so I'm seeing all these leaves go by and I'm thinking to myself, I really want to stop one more time. And I've used all my freebies for stopping. And so this lake goes by and I go, oh my gosh, there's like a side road, there's this lake. The trees at the base of the lake just looked amazing. And so I turned to my mom and we're driving down the road and I said, like, Mom, like, we need to go back. And she looks at me and goes, nope. I go, no, Mom, like, we need to go back. And she goes, nope. And she was so determined to get to Algonquin Park, to do our hike and then to get out of there. And I was like, Mom, please, 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 like just this one last one. And she goes, oh, fine, okay. So she stops on the highway, goes back on the road. We back up for about 1 kilometer to this lake that I had just seen. We pull off to the side of the road and it was just like this no-name street, really nothing happening, kind of like this dirt road. I get out with my camera and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take 2 photos with my camera and then I'm gonna jump back in the car. It'll be 5 minutes. So I get to the lake, I start taking photos. I'm like, this looks pretty good, but I'm really curious to see what it looks like on the other side of this lake. And so I run back to the car, I grab my drone, I pop on some ND filters. I'm like, I'll just be 2 more minutes, I swear. I just want to throw the drone up. And my family's like, oh, okay, come on, like we gotta go. Let's get going here. And so I throw up the drone, I'm flying over the lake. It's all green and yellow and it looks pretty nice. And as I get higher and higher, I see that this hill starts to emerge. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, the trees on that hill are completely red. Now, every year, it doesn't matter if you go to the same location over and over. Every year, depending on the temperature and the frost and the sunlight levels, the leaves can look completely different. Even if you go back to the same spots year after year, you're guaranteed to get a different photo. And so I pop my drone up, it gets higher and higher, and I snap this photo with the road that we just turned off onto, this lake out in front, and then these just rolling hills with these peaks of red, which just looked incredible. Now, of course, is this as good as being inside Algonquin Park? It's debatable. Of course, you're not allowed to fly drones in Algonquin Park, so for me to get this type of photo would technically be breaking the law. So to get it just outside of Algonquin Park means almost just as much, because this is essentially how the colors would look there. Now, I use this as an opportunity to say, as photographers, we're out and about every day. We don't always have our camera with us, but this is a reason why I've always learned to have my camera, if not my drone, with me. You never know when you're gonna be driving or out with your friends or out on a hike, and you turn to your left and you turn to your right and you see like this amazing view and you think, oh my gosh, the sun looks amazing, the clouds have rolled in, it's just the perfect opportunity, and maybe all you have is your cell phone camera. As a hiker and a landscape photographer, I have learned to always bring my camera with me. I never want to be in a situation where I regret not having my camera, even if it means I have to bring an extra 5 pounds of camera lenses and gear, just in the event that that one special moment or that one special view does occur. I want to make sure I'm ready to capture it. Regardless of what type of photography you're into, use this as your reminder to always be ready to take the photo. Inspiration and opportunity can strike at any moment, and it's usually when we're least expecting it. Go ahead and leave a comment if maybe one time you forgot to bring your camera and you completely missed the photo opportunity, or maybe one time you did have your camera and you decided to back up the road or go that extra mile to get to that photo spot, to get that photo that you might have otherwise missed. That's it for this Photo Friday. Next week, we will probably have a guest, so if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe so that you get that video when it comes out. And until the next one, take care.